Hey everybody, and welcome to my channel, and evidently my first video. For today's project, I'm going to be adding a light into my blast cabinet. I did add some lights into it previously, but I find when I'm working, there's shadow on the piece that I'm working that's right in front of me. So I'm going to add in another light. I'm going to show you guys how I've done it. And make sure you guys hit the like and share button, because I've done some mods to this blast cabinet, and I'm going to be creating some more videos on the mods that I've done and a couple more mods that I got planned in the future for it. So let's get going. I'll show you what the issue is. As you can see, it's pretty dark inside the cabinet. When I flick on the lights that I've added, I got one up in this corner and one up in this corner. And what I find is when I'm working and I have the piece down in here with my hands, the way the light comes in, it casts a shadow right down in here when I'm trying to work. So I'm going to be adding a light somewhere around here in between the protection gloves to shine some light this way. Show you inside of the cabinet. I have one light up in that corner and one light over there. So what I want to do is I'm going to add a light right in there. You'll notice that I used some 4-inch LED lights. I find they work really good. They're low voltage, high wattage. They don't get too hot. And the lens on the lights are pretty tough. If you just use like a normal light bulb, you usually end up etching the light bulb and having to change it out quite a bit. So here's the light that I purchased to put in there. It's a little bit different from the ones I have, but it's basically the same thing. It's a 4-inch LED. It only cost me about $16. Pretty simple. Let's unbox it, have a look at it. So there it is there. Haven't really turned it on. I'm curious to see what it looks like. So I'm probably going to hook it up to the battery charger and see how bright it is. And then it comes with a little mounting hardware, a couple bolts and whatnot. So let's get this hooked up and I'll see you back in a minute. Okay, so we'll just hook her up to a battery here real quick in front of my drill. 20 volts, which is good for power. And there we have it. Be a perfect little light for in there. Alright, let's check the mounting and go from there. Okay, so I plan to put this just right about here, and already telling I'm going to have to change the angle that I have the light on. So I'll bring the bracket down so I can try and get it on about an angle right about here, I think. One thing I'll recommend too, I don't want to get any metal shavings down in my blast media. Can get up into the gun and plug in, just cause issues. So all I'm going to do is I got a little magnetic plate for when I'm taking things off for bolts and stuff. I'm just going to set it right there, and any shavings that come down will land on there and it'll catch them. Marked out. Nice thing is one of the bolts to bolt the top in is pretty much dead center, which gives me a great lineup to put the light into the center. So holes marked out, I'll pilot drill it probably 1/8 and then drill it out to 1/4 inch for the bolt. Install the light. Just so you know, I did put some Loctite onto this bolt. Make sure it stays nice and tight and the light doesn't loosen off. And it's pushed up through, throw a washer and the nut onto the back. There we go, and tight. and I'll tighten up the bolt, and then we'll run some wiring to it. So to power my light, I'm going to run the wiring inside, which I'll show you here, to this junction box that comes with the unit. I've wired my other lights into the switch already, so I'm just going to remove this heat shrink, tie into here, and then do up the wires nice, reconnect it to the switch, and put it back together. So I'll show you the process of doing that and how we're going to run the wires inside along here and attach it to the light. Okay, so I pre-cut some wire to length. I don't have any pre-coated wire to wire, so I'm gonna twist the wires together with my drill, use a couple pieces of heat shrinking to hold them together, and that'll make it nice and neat, kind of like I did with the other one. So I'll show you how I do that. Take your 2 wire ends. Some people use a hook. I just throw them right in the chuck of the drill, tighten it up just like that so it's tight. Pull the wires tight and use your drill to twist them. Now I got a nice twisted wire, nice and neat. I'll take it out of the chuck of the drill now. And to help keep it like this so it doesn't come apart, I got a few pieces of shrink tubing. Slide it over top. Run it down to this end and shrink it. Put your next piece on. About midway, keeps it looking good. And then the last piece. Now this one, I left a few inches from this end so that I can cut off the damaged piece here that's squished and gives me some room to do the splice. This end here, I'll leave quite a bit more and I'll shrink it. There you have it. Take and cut off the damaged pieces, just like that. Okay, let's run our wire. Okay, I don't have a tripod, so I'm going to show you guys basically what I'm going to do. Throw this light in here for now. I'm going to run my wire up in that little hole there, that's to the switch. And then just like I did here, I use clips with a couple rivets to help seal it up. So what I'm going to do is I'll run the wire, I'll get it riveted over here, and then I'll show you the tie-ins and the finished product. So stay tuned. Okay, to help me do the wiring and everything, I've removed the glass off of here, which is probably a good thing. I think the protective film needs to be replaced, so I'll do a separate video on that. I've got the glass removed. I can now reach in and start riveting my wire over and easily connect it instead of having to go in from the side. All right, see a bit of the progress I'm making. So I got the first one up here riveted in, wire holding. I got the next one just down here, and I got a hole drilled here for the next one. Put the next couple in and we'll get ready to hook up the light. All right, I got all my wires hooked up, ran the wire in behind. See up in the top, all my riveted pieces up through and into the switch box through the hole in the side. Starting to do the splice in. One thing I've always been taught was always solder your connections. Never use those blue clips to tie in or anything. Always cut your wires, solder, and then heat shrink them. So I'll continue with that. I'll get this all wired up. I'll get it hooked back up to the switch, and we'll give her a test go. I got the switch, all the wiring put back in, the protector cover over the switch, and everything's back together. Let's have a quick look. There's a nice spotlight coming in. Now I don't have a shadow on the back of my hand, so I know I'll have good light while working on the pieces. There's two up in the top, and then the one in the center. So next thing to do, I'm just going to clean up inside here. put the grate back in, the gun back in, and we'll give her a test with a piece. Okay, so everything's back together. New light is in. It's looking super bright, nice, clean. So I got a piece of metal in there for a project I'm working on. We'll give it a little try and see if there's any more shadows. So as you can see, I got perfect light towards the workpiece, no shadow. I was getting a lot of shadow right in this area, plenty of light. Seems like that extra light did the trick. So thanks for watching my video. I got lots of mods on this glass cabinet. I'm going to be going over them in some new videos. Make sure you guys are hitting that like and that subscribe button so you guys get the notifications when the new videos are showing. Have a good day.